you willing to talk about, I guess,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, whatever.
Whatever you have to ask me, I'm
I
good to
got
talk
you.
about.
Sunday, do you have an exact?
I don't really remember. Like I didn't really even know like what day it was that we went into the house.
And before you did that, did you Did he ever go over the actual plan on how you guys would do it or anything like that, or like what was that about?
Well, I mean, we were just trying to figure out how to get money, and because he said that he might have had a warrant, and I didn't know if I had a warrant because, you know, my grandma kicked me out, and then she did the same thing that my mom did. Like, my mom would kick me out, and like a couple days later, she would call the cops saying that I ran away when I didn't. Like, sometimes like she would physically force me out of the house. Because like sometimes like I would just be like, Mom, like why are you doing this? And then, you know, she would like literally like grab my stuff and push me out the door and then call the cops on me. So I felt like that's what like my grandma did, and I didn't know. So I was already figuring that I had a warrant or something, that I already violated probation. And Johnny was saying that he might have already like violated probation because he thought his mom called the cops on him or something. I don't know, but how we started talking about it was like we started out like with, you know, what time should we go over to the house? How are we gonna do this? You know, like what you know, materials do we need to, you know, do this? So, you know, we started talking about that, and then, you know, so we decided to go around like midnight or 1:30 because my grandma normally went to sleep around like 11:30, 12. So we decided, like, you know, we would park down the road, and then the park was literally like right behind my backyard, like the neighborhood park. So I was able to go through the park and then cut through my backyard because there was a fence. Like, there was the trees, then there was my fence, and then there was the house. So you could easily like go through the trees, and then there was the little gate that you could go through. I didn't even think like you could even open it.
Yeah, how'd you guys move that cement? Isn't there like a cement block or cinder block or something?
Yeah, it was pretty easy to move. Like, I was able to push the door out a little bit, and then like it was stuck, but I was able to maneuver my body over to get in the, you know, into the other side, and then I just moved the cement block over so then Johnny could get through,
Gotcha.
and then I moved it back.
Do you remember what you guys were wearing when you guys did this, or?
I was wearing like mostly red. Like, I had like red sweatpants, I had a red hoodie on, I had like a black, like a t-shirt that I used as a mask. I think Johnny wore all black, maybe, like a little bit of color.
Did the hoodie have a design or anything on it, do you remember, or?
I think he had a design on the hoodie.
Yours?
No, well, yeah, on mine, I had something. It wasn't my hoodie, it was Johnny's, because he let me borrow it. It said something on there, so it was like, had like white letters, and then I guess he had like this design on his hoodie too.
And you guys said you had t-shirts wrapped around. Did you guys?
They were just like, it was like a
Rags or
old,
something?
yeah, like an old t-shirt.
What was that for?
Just to like cover up our faces.
Excuse me. Do you remember what kind of shoes you were wearing, or no?
I was wearing combat boots. They were like Timbs. You know what Timbs are?
Yeah,
Were they
Timberlands.
Yeah, they're
like brown or black or?
they're brown, looked like a tan. alarm system. Like, they had this alarm system for years, and all you had to do was just, like, you had to push this little button just to open it, and then just take the battery out. And I already took the battery out, like, a while ago.
What was that for? You taking the battery out?
Just to, like, sneak out.
Okay.
And plus, I hated that thing that went off every time. It got so annoying.
I bet.
So then you guys are at that back door now. You're the first one to kind of walk inside there, or how do you? Okay.
So there was stuff in front of the door because my grandma normally would block off the back door. So, but I was able to open. So I unlocked the back door. I was able to open the back door a little bit and not have the stuff in front of the door fall and, you know, make a noise. So I was able to, like, maneuver in, and then I moved the stuff in front of the door, and then I got Johnny in. And then we closed the door and locked it.
And then would you guys kind of just hang out downstairs, or did you start moving upstairs? Or?
We went upstairs. We didn't immediately go upstairs. Like, we went to the stairs, and then we were, like, just listening, just hearing what was going on. And we thought everything was good, and then we went upstairs, and...
Hold on, did you guys have anything in your hands, or you just...
Yeah, I had, what's it called? It's one of those car tool things.
Is it to do a tire, or
Yeah,
is it
tire
to fix
iron.
it?
It was a
Okay.
tire iron, so I had one of those.
Where'd you get that at?
Johnny's car. 'Cause he
Okay.
had one in his car.
His Honda or
Mhm.
whatever.
And Johnny just used his fist, and he brought a black book bag that had duct tape in it, and it had the tire iron in it,
Huh.
and it had gloves in it, because we were also wearing gloves too.
What kind of gloves?
They were like
Like hospital gloves,
Yeah,
or regular?
hospital
Oh, okay.
gloves.
What color were they? You remember?
Blue-ish?
Okay.
Yeah, they were blue.
Okay.
So,
So now you guys are at the stairs, starting to go up the stairs. Did
yeah.
you actually have the tire iron in your hand, or is it still in the book bag?
I had the tire iron in my hand. You know, we got it out before we went inside the house.
Mhm.
So I had it in my hand. And Johnny didn't have any weapon. He just used his fist. So, and then,
So who's first up the stairs? Is it you, and he's kind of following you, or?
yeah.
Okay.
I go up the stairs. He goes into my grandpa's room, and then I go into my grandma's room.
Mhm.
And, yeah.
And then do you hear kind of what's going on over there, and
Yeah.
does that kind of cue you off to
Mhm.
with your grandmother there?
Yeah, he started going at it, and then, you know, I could hear my grandpa just yelling, you know, them fighting, and then I started getting the rush, and then, you know, like, that's when I started hitting my grandma in the head.
So you took the tire iron. Is it just?
I started just beating her head with it.
Does she have a pillow over her head? Do you know, or
No.
would she have a pillow around her head or something? Cause
Mm-mm.
okay.
The way she was laying was she was on her stomach, and her head was facing to the right. If you go into the bedroom,
Mhm.
you look at the bed, so her head was facing like the opposite direction, so she couldn't see me coming through the door.
Okay.
So, and then he started, you know, beating my grandpa, and then after a little bit, I like hit her really hard on the back of the head, and then she started like screaming and stuff. And
Was that the first hit?
Yeah,
The back of the head?
yeah. That's where I mainly hit her in the head. She
Huh?
bit me.
I think I took a picture of that yesterday, right?
Yeah, she bit me in my finger too, but I forgot which finger. It was on my right hand. I think it was either like my middle finger or it was that one.
And when you and your grandmother used to get into it, that's kind of how did she bite you before to
Yeah.
kind of get you off her or whatnot?
Yeah, she's
Okay.
bitten me before.
Well, she's bitten you before too.
Yeah, I haven't bitten her, but
Okay.
she's bitten me before.
Okay.
Have you, like when you guys are in it, or did you just
Yeah.
come up and bite you?
No, like when we were in it.
Okay.
Like I had this mark on my hand from where she bit me for a while.
Where did she bite you that night? On your finger?
Yeah.
Anywhere else?
On my arm,
Okay.
where they took the picture of it, and then that was it.
So you're in the bedroom with your grandmother. When do you meet back up with Johnny? Do you leave your grandmother there, or kind of what happens?
So I started hitting my grandma, and I already had duct tape, and then, you know, Johnny's doing his thing, and, you know, I stopped hearing Johnny doing whatever, and so he comes in the room with me and my grandma, and he helps me like tie up my grandma with the duct tape. And
how did you do that? Is it just her hands or?
I got her hands, I got her whole head, and then I got her ankles.
Okay, with her hands, I guess.
It was behind her back.
So it's like, just like this?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, what about anything on her head or neck, or did you?
Yeah, we kind of like wrapped the duct tape around her head, ish. So, and then that was it.
What was that for? Just
so then she kept it on.
Oh, okay.
I just cut it.
And you said her ankles too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Johnny helped you tie her up?
Yeah, I mean, I mostly did it, but I needed like a little bit of help because, she was like, moving around and stuff. And then, so he helped me a little bit, and then he went back into my grandpa's room. And then
What were you doing when you went back in your grandpa's room?
I was still with my grandma, and then,
In her room?
yeah, and then I dragged her into my grandpa's room, and then Johnny asked me to go get some knives. So I got some knives from downstairs in the kitchen, and I got 3 like, big butcher knives. And then that's when he started like stabbing my grandpa, because then I went back upstairs because I dragged my grandma into my grandpa's room, so they were both in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I asked her for the code to her safe, because I already knew that she had a safe in her closet. I just didn't know it was in the safe.
Mm.
So, I mean,
Did she tell you?
yeah, I mean, like, she kept saying, like, I'll give you money, I'll give you my keys, I'll give you anything you want. But, yeah, she just kept
Was
saying,
she able to talk with the duct tape around her face?
yeah, like, she was, like, mumbling. You could still understand her, but, like, at the same time, you couldn't.
Like it wasn't like her mouth was shut. Like
Yeah.
almost as if,
It was like that.
okay, almost as if like she could still move her mouth enough
Yeah.
to make the words be on the tape. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then when Johnny's stabbing your grandfather, is it mainly in the torso or? Okay.
Yeah, he just, I don't know why he did that, but he just kept going.
How many times? More than 2? More
Yeah,
5?
more than 5.
Okay.
It was more than 5.
And then what happened when he was done with that? What were you doing? What were you guys doing next?
So we left my grandma sitting there on the floor, and then I got the code to the safe. So Johnny's watching my grandpa and my grandma, and I'm over.
How'd you get that code? Did she tell you guys or?
She told us.
Okay.
So she told us the code, and I went in the closet because that's where they kept the safe. So I go in there, I'm checking out all the stuff, and I grab the book bag, and I just start stuffing the book bag with everything, Like, there was envelopes just filled with money. There was probably about like $1,000 that we found in that safe that they were just saving. And
Did you know about that money or you just said no?
well, my grandma, it was kind of weird. Like, she was kind of giving me like an idea about it before. Like, she was saying, "What if I just gave you $1,000? Would that just make the world a better place?" I'm just like, "No, I don't want $1,000." So she kept saying that, and then like when I saw it, I was just like, "Wow, she actually had $1,000 in her safe." Like, that's crazy.
So you guys put that stuff in a bag, and then basically Johnny's in your grandpa's room with your grandpa and your grandma in the room. Do you come back in there and say, "Hey, I got this"?
I drove over to Johnny's car and we dropped Johnny's car off over by these little like stores. I forgot. It's over by the Kroger that we would normally
I can't memorize numbers worth of shit. Did you just memorize them, or you went through your phone?
I didn't have a phone at the time. Well, I mean, I did, but didn't have any data on it or anything, so I wasn't calling anybody. I was just mainly using like social media.
Oh, gotcha.
So We were gonna get both of our families. That's why.
Hold on, what?
Okay, so the plan was that we were both gonna get both of our families, but first we got my grandparents. Then that's why we went over to Johnny's house, and we attacked his sister and her boyfriend because he wanted to kill his family.
Okay.
So that's like, we stayed in town for a couple days because, we wanted to get some money, we wanted to get ready to leave, and then that plan just going over to his house kind of just like, it didn't work out at all. It went downhill from there.
Now, there seems to be a pretty big gap
Yeah.
still, though, between your grandparents and then attacking his sister and the boyfriend.
Mhm.
Was that kind of in the plan?
Yeah.
To try to get away with it for the week and then
Yeah.
kill them?
Well, we weren't really like going on like a week thing. It was kind of just like a day-to-day kind of thing. Like, what are we gonna do today, sort of thing. But I mean, we wanted to get out of town like as soon as possible.
Okay.
But just how it all just kind of timed out. Thank you so much. Didn't really like. It just, I don't know. It didn't really work out as we planned it to be.
Okay.
So
there was no. So you guys basically stayed in town after your grandparents because the plan was then to kill Johnny's family and maybe get some more money?
yes.
Okay. And it wasn't like a set schedule on Saturday at 5:55 p.m. we're gonna go kill him, but more of a day-to-day thing?
Yeah, I mean, like, we were just planning on doing it at night mainly.
Okay.
It
So what made you guys pick that night that you did it? And not any of the other nights before? Was anybody gonna be at the house that shouldn't have been, or were you waiting on someone in particular to be there with them? Who's in Johnny's family? Does he got a mom and a dad?
Just a mom, 2 sisters, and that's it.
Okay.
And yeah, we were really like planning on like what time. We were just kind of like just going how it went, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Just seeing how it would go, and then it just kind of went like really downhill from there. With the bear spray and everything, the baseball bat.
The what spray?
We had like bear repellent that we bought from Bass Pro Shop
What was that for?
for just to like get them away or to like kind of like knock them out.
Okay.
That stuff is strong. Like
Yeah.
that stuff. Oh my gosh.
We have to get sprayed with like the obviously non-bear spray,
Mhm.
and that stuff is strong. So did you spray it on him?
Yeah, we both did. Well, I mean, Johnny did more. He sprayed more because using them.
What, you guys had a bag too, full with like peroxide, bandages, Band-Aids,
Yeah.
syringes. What was that about?
Just
Someone
in
cut
case.
them? Oh, okay.
Just in case. Like, I wanted to bring a first aid kit just in case whatever happened, you know?
Did you get injured when you guys were attacking your grandparents, other than her biting you?
No.
What about Johnny? Did he get any cuts?
Johnny got hit in the nose, like right here.
So that was from your grandpa?
No, that was at his house.
No, I'm saying at your
Oh.
grandparents'
Oh, no,
house.
no.
So you got bit, but Johnny didn't get anything? so when you guys changed,
Mhm.
did you change in the house?
I changed at his friend's house. Well, yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, let's go back to Grandma and Grandpa.
Yeah.
Did you change at your house?
Yeah.
Okay. The boots in your bedroom, are those the boots that you wore?
Yes.
And you only have one pair of boots like that?
Those Timberlands.
Those Tims?
Well, they're like knockoff Tims.
Right.
But yeah, those were the only shoes I was wearing.
And you were wearing them the whole time?
When we went over I grabbed a pair of Converse too,
Okay.
but I wasn't wearing those Converse.
I meant the whole time the attack on
Yes.
Grandma and Grandpa happened?
Yes.
Okay. And when we were riding over here, you noticed a lot of shit that even he and I missed, like even in his car. What is it called?
Starship thing, Phantom.
Yeah. So you noticed what his lights were called. You saw the little bumper sticker that I could barely see from the back seat. Like, and you were talking about detectives and investigations and stuff like that. So obviously that's what we do, and we do this quite a bit.
Mhm.
And the thing is, we can basically piece together kind of what happens based on the evidence and stuff like that. But what we never can fully explain is why it happened or what happened. Like the reasons it happened.
Like why we did what we did.
Yeah.
I mean, the main reason why I did what I did was because I kind of just wanted to get away from my family.
How were you feeling? So that was your plan going into it. Killing Grandma and Grandpa would get you further away from your family.
Yeah.
When you were actually attacking Grandma,
Mhm.
when you heard Johnny attacking Grandpa, you said you got a rush.
Yeah, I had like this kind of like this rush where I was like, okay, like I'm ready to do this, like it's, gonna happen. There's no going back.
So
It wasn't like a good rush. It was kind of just like, okay, like
it's go time.
I gotta do this, like I gotta do what I gotta do.
Now I'm not gonna pretend I'm any expert in karate or anything like that. I got a cousin who's a Filipino world champion. he's pretty good at what he does in whatever art form he does it in.
Mhm.
But I know a lot of it is kind of that controlled aggression.
Yeah.
Okay. No lie that this was a pretty violent attack on Grandma and Grandpa.
Yes.
Were you able to kind of control your aggression based on all your training over these years? Were you angry? Were you sad when it was going on? What kind of walk me through what was going on in your head? I mean, was it like you said, the rush where it's go time, I just need to do what the fuck we came here to do?
Yeah.
Or was it like, fuck them, they gave me curfew, they deserved it,
It was
let's
like,
get this shit going?
it's both.
Both?
Honestly, I mean, I stopped doing kung fu for a while just because, my mind wasn't there.
Mhm.
I just, all of my feelings and my emotions were all over the place and I wasn't able to focus. So that really affected, my kung fu. But when I was there, I don't know, just all of my emotions kind of just, came out when it was happening. I was just angry and I was sad, but I was heartbroken at the same time, because it was just why did all of this stuff have to, happen with my family,
Mhm.
Why did I have to deal with all this bullshit, and it's just, I just kind of really got tired of it and I couldn't handle it anymore, I just kept exploding inside almost.
Mhm.
I wanted to just run away and just be by myself with someone, and just start my life. I was just tired of being
And
there.
Grandma and Grandpa were your biggest hurdles?
Yeah. Just because,
Is that how you saw them, as your biggest hurdles to being with Johnny?
No, they were my biggest hurdles because of probation.
Okay.
If I didn't get probation, I wouldn't be in this, I don't know, probation kind of really messed me up because, I was going to get a job, I was going to, start getting money, just, starting my life, and then once I got probation, it kind of just, really messed up everything, I had to be home at a certain time, and I couldn't do
Right.
as much stuff as I, used to do, and, that really made me angry because, I used to just be able to do whatever, I wanted to,
When you during this whole week, kind of in between, you guys obviously took Grandma's credit card. You swiped it a bunch, right?
Mhm.
Did you ever get denied when you were trying to swipe it?
No.
Okay.
We tried to take cash out, but then we found out it was a debit card.
Okay.
That's the only reason why we get denied.
You got $1,000 in cash. Did you spend it all, or do you have it all?
We spent it all
Okay.
on food, money, weed.
And the money you were gonna potentially get from Johnny's family was gonna be what
Yeah.
you were gonna start new with.
Yeah.
Where were you gonna go afterwards?
We were gonna go like to Florida.
Okay. Anywhere in particular?
Maybe like Pensacola, Panama City, just somewhere, where we could just like escape.
Yeah,
Just somewhere where we could just kind of like escape reality. Cause
I gotcha.
this kind of just all I've been wanting to do for such a long time, which is
Escape reality or kill Grandma and Grandpa?
well, no, not kill them. Kind of just go chill with some friends. Like, we did it before anyone came over to the house.
Okay. So, you kill Grandma and Grandpa, you basically grab all your shit and put it downstairs. Did that happen the same day?
Yes.
Okay. At some point, you're chilling downstairs with Johnny. You end up, we're like, fuck it, let's have some people over. Johnny tells you to pour bleach on them.
Yeah.
You pour bleach on them.
Yeah.
Where did you put Grandpa's bleach bottle?
We use the same bleach bottle.
Okay. So you bleached Grandpa first?
Yeah.
I'm just letting you know. Knock if you need anything.
Okay, Cassie, you doing all right still? Sure? I'm gonna stick these in your bag, okay? Okay, for all that stuff we did to you with your prints and they took the swab and all that stuff, I just can't take it. I gotta get a search warrant, okay? You understand?
What do you mean?
I did it, but what I'm saying is I had to